All right, let's talk about sleep, or more specifically, why so many of us are struggling to get it. Today, we're diving into the pretty wild and confusing world of modern sleep aids. We're going to break down what actually works, what's just hype, and, maybe most importantly, some serious warnings you absolutely need to hear. So, let's get into it. I mean, this is the question, right? If you've ever had one of those nights just staring at the ceiling, wondering when sleep is going to show up, well, you are definitely not alone. It feels like getting a good night's rest has turned into this massive collective mission for all of us. And here's the thing. This isn't just a run of bad luck. Our sleep problem is, well, a modern problem. It's totally tangled up with our modern lives. And that means we need a modern toolkit to even begin to fix it. Think about it. Our brains are just constantly getting hit with stuff. You've got the blue light from our phones and laptops tricking our bodies into thinking it's still daytime. You've got chronic stress that keeps us stuck in this fight-or-flight mode. The hurdles to just getting some decent sleep, they've never been higher.
Okay, so let's start building that toolkit. And we're going to start with the internal tools. You know, all those popular supplements that people are reaching for when they need a little help.
And first up, it's the big one. The one you've absolutely heard of. Melatonin. The easiest way to think about it is like your body's built-in lights-out signal. As soon as it gets dark, your brain starts producing this hormone, and that's really the main conductor of your whole 24-hour sleep-wake symphony. Next in our kit, we've got magnesium. People call it the relaxation mineral for a really good reason. I mean, it's involved in hundreds of processes in your body, but when it comes to sleep, its main gig is to help calm down your nervous system. It helps your muscles relax, getting your body physically prepped to wind down for the night. But here's where it gets really interesting. These things don't always fly solo. There's this super powerful idea called synergy. Take magnesium and combine it with something called L-theanine. That's an amino acid you find in tea leaves. And suddenly, they're like a superhero duo. L-theanine helps get those calming alpha brainwaves going, while magnesium helps your body deal with stress. Working together, they can even give your natural melatonin production a little boost. All right, so we've covered what you can put in your body. Now let's flip the script and look at the external tools. Because it's not just about what's inside you, it's also about what you surround yourself with. So, you've probably heard of white noise, right? That shh sound, like static, that's awesome for drowning out a barking dog or a noisy street. But there's this other thing called pink noise, and the research here is pretty cool. It has deeper, lower frequencies, think more like rustling leaves or a steady waterfall. Some studies are actually suggesting that it might help improve our deep sleep, making it more restorative. Pretty neat. But, you know, when all is said and done, here's the real bottom line, straight from the experts. While all the science is super interesting, the best sound machine for you is, well, it's the one you find most relaxing. Seriously, don't overthink it, just pick the one that feels soothing to you. And that actually brings us to maybe the most powerful and, hey, totally free tool in our entire environmental kit: morning sunlight. Just getting some natural sunlight in your eyes shortly after you wake up is the #1 signal to set your body's internal 24-hour clock. That one simple habit can make a huge difference when your head hits the pillow that night. Okay, so we've talked about all these cool tools, but now we have to talk about the toolbox itself. And I'm going to be honest, this is where things get really, really serious. So please, pay close attention, because this is probably the most critical part of this whole explainer. Here it is. In the United States, the FDA does not regulate dietary supplements with the same rigor that it regulates prescription drugs. Let that sink in. That means things like melatonin, magnesium, all of it. They can hit the shelves without being checked for safety, for purity, or even if the label is accurate.
And what does that lack of regulation look like in the real world? It's pretty staggering. One major study took a look at a bunch of melatonin supplements off the shelf and found that the actual dose inside could be off from what the label said by as much as 478%, nearly 5 times higher. That's a huge, unpredictable dose you might be taking.
And believe it or not, it actually gets worse. That same study, it found that more than a quarter of the supplements they tested were contaminated with serotonin. Serotonin is a controlled substance, a powerful neurotransmitter you should only get with a prescription. So this isn't just about an inaccurate label, this is potentially really dangerous. And magnesium isn't totally off the hook either. Since it's so active in your body, it can actually interfere with how you absorb other really important medications. We're talking about things like certain antibiotics, blood pressure meds, diabetes drugs. Taking magnesium can make them less effective or cause some really unpredictable side effects. I like to think of it like this. You wouldn't try to build a house on a shaky foundation, right?
It's the same with sleep. Supplements and sound machines are like the paint and decorations. They can't fix a crumbling base. So let's get back to basics and reinforce that foundation with 3 essential pillars.
Pillar number 1, caffeine. We all know it keeps us awake, but the effect is actually measurable. One study found this really direct link. For every single cup of coffee someone drank, they lost about 10 minutes of sleep that night, and that adds up fast.
Pillar number 2, alcohol. This is probably the biggest myth in the world of sleep. Sure, a drink might make you feel sleepy and help you doze off, but what it does to your sleep quality is just devastating. It crushes your REM sleep, which is so important for your brain, and it leads to a night of really fragmented, unrefreshing rest.
And that brings us to our third and honestly most important pillar, routine. A consistent schedule. Going to bed and waking up around the same time every single day and, even on weekends, is the absolute best thing you can do to strengthen your body's internal clock. It is the anchor for everything else.
So let's wrap this all up. What's the big takeaway here? Number 1, be really, really skeptical of supplements. If you absolutely feel you need to take them, look for a seal from a third-party tester, like USP or NSF. That at least verifies what's on the label is in the bottle. Number 2, talk to your doctor. Always, especially if you're taking any other medications. And number 3, and this is the most important, master the foundations first. Get a handle on your caffeine, alcohol, light exposure, and routine before you even think about reaching for a quick fix. Because that is the real path to better sleep. So before you go, just ask yourself this. Based on everything we just talked about, what's one small change, one foundational thing you can do tonight